This is Minders Glover of Business Building Shortcuts. I recently returned from Stomper 7 live down in Atlanta, and I learned a technique for becoming a top performer from one of the members of staff, Paul Lemberg, who made a presentation called the Ivy Lee 7, and I'd like to share that with you right now. So who is Ivy Lee, and what can he teach us about managing our time and becoming a top performer? Well, many historians credit Ivy Lee with being the founder of modern public relations. While he was alive, and he passed away in 1934, he promoted a public relations philosophy of helping clients listen as well as communicate messages to their publics. And he was famous for advising managers to list their top priorities and work on tasks in that order, and not proceeding until a task was completed. So let's go a little bit further into this right now. At the top of his list was his first point: each day make a list of no more than 7 items on your to-do list. So the idea here is, rather than carrying around a day timer or equivalent time tracking device, trust your inner knowing as to what it is that you need to do today, and don't overdo it. Make a list of 7 items and just write it from scratch and proceed from there. Okay, so once you have your 7 priority items, start with the most important item first and work on that task until it's. But another key element here is point number 3: don't expect to get it all done. We all have a tendency to put too much on our plate, and so we make a list that we can't possibly get done. And what the opportunity is to let go of the frustration about not getting it all done. Because remember, in the new day, you're going to make a fresh list, and so those things that are most pressing will rise again to the top of your new list. Now we're on to point number 4. Work from your goals, which in turn are an extension of your values. So we can all make a list of 7 things that we believe need to be done, but the idea is, if you're working from your goals, what it is you're most trying to accomplish, then you're working on the most important task. And taking it one step higher, if your goals come from your values, what is it that you're trying to create in your life? How does your work fit into your broader life? Then you're doing the right action. Next, keep working in the direction of the most important track in your business, or if this is a broader perspective in your life. And so keep your focus, whether this task needs to be done in a day, if your focus point is a week, a month, quarter, or annually. Keep working in the predominant direction of that goal that you're tracking and trying to get on top of. So as you proceed through this process, continually ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now my highest valued contribution? Is this the most important thing for me to be doing as I focus on the ultimate goal that I'm trying to achieve here? If not, then change the steps that you're doing throughout the day. You know how often when you make a system and you set about to follow it, you can do it for a few days and then you get off track and it just doesn't seem to work? Well, that's point number 7 here, which is kind of an irony in this whole process. And there's an entropy principle at work here, and that is that structure wants to disappear. So your task is to keep coming back to it. So keep coming back to the 7 steps, and before long you'll get the hang of it. Alright, well, here we see all 7 points outlined in one place so you can get a feel for the entire process. And the metaphor that I'd like to use is the popular one of being in the midst of the forest and having a narrow perspective, but then as you rise above the forest you get a much broader view. So what makes this becoming a top performer model so powerful is that if we get into our task during any given day, and we realize that we're getting bogged down, there's an opportunity to step back and look at a really broad perspective, because you can't get it all done, and the goal is to not to try to get it all done, but to get the important things done and to be working at a consistent pace so that you're moving towards your goals. Okay, well, again, Minders Glover of Business Building Shortcuts, and enjoyed sharing this with you. For more how-to videos and other helpful tools, techniques, and strategies like the one you've just seen, please visit our blog at businessbuildingshortcuts.com. And while you're there, please opt into our mailing list and you'll be notified of upcoming teleseminars and events, as well as other additional information you can use immediately to jumpstart your business. Thanks. This is Minders Glover.